American Ninja Warrior Season 1. It aired back in 2009, and looking at it now, it feels almost primitive. Low budget, basic obstacles, and none of the spectacle we take for today. No Vegas finals, no Mat and Akbar, and definitely no $1 million prize. But even in these humble beginnings, the history is rich. This is the season that set everything in motion. Today, I'm ranking all 8 episodes from the worst to best. The very first episode of American Ninja Warrior history. And look, it's legendary for that reason alone. But we have to be honest here. The competitors in this episode were not good at Ninja Warrior. Not yet. The rope swing and the pipe slider absolutely destroyed the competitors. You had Brett Sims, a huge name from the American Ninja Challenge days, and he shockingly wipes out on the pipe slider way too early. The only real highlight? Daniel Devane. He becomes the first person ever to climb that warp wall, finish the course, and hike the buzzer. It's a historic moment. But beyond that, 0 impressive runs. And none of these guys even made it to the next round. It's cool for nostalgia, but easily the weakest episode of the season. This is the second qualifier, and things start to shift slightly. 300 competitors are getting narrowed down to just 30, based on who's fastest. Speed officially matters now. We see Ryan Stratus make his debut. Yeah, the Ryan Stratus, future legend, but he gets hung up on the warped wall. It costs him just enough time to miss the cut. Other names like Brian Kretsch and St. Daniels show up for the first time, and Bruce Perry from American Ninja Challenge returns. And then there's Brian Orozco, an American Ninja Challenge veteran. He lays down the fastest time of the episode and sets the bar for everyone else. But honestly, this episode feels like a transition. It's the bridge between the rough start of episode 1 and the real competition coming in episode 3, the first half of the semifinals. For the first time, the course expands from 6 obstacles to 9. You can actually start seeing hints of the ANW we know today. But here's the catch. They showed the runs in reverse order of how people finished in qualifiers. So this episode, it's basically the slower half, the less exciting half. Bruce Perry, who showed promise early, crashes out in a shocking run. But Shane Daniels closes the episode strong with a top time so far, 1 minute and 39 seconds. Officially putting everyone on notice. The problem with this episode? Almost everyone who made it to the semifinals cleared the whole course. It just wasn't hard enough. No real tension. The beach finals. Now, this one needs context. Back in these early seasons, the winner didn't get a cash prize. They got a ticket to Japan to compete in SASUKE, the original Ninja Warrior. So the finals weren't about obstacles. They were about narrowing 15 people down to 10 through a series of weird physical tests on a beach. And yet, it feels nothing like an American Ninja Warrior episode. No real obstacles. Just 2 challenges judged by Olympians who had been on SASUKE before. The challenges themselves are strange, but brutally hard. William Spencer, the guy who had dominated every episode so far, puts up a great performance in the first challenge, then collapses from heat exhaustion. It's shocking, it's devastating, and it takes him out of the running entirely. Then, in the second challenge, David Campbell gets screwed by a questionable restart rule and ends up missing the cut for Japan. The final 10 are announced dramatically, and honestly, some of the names that sneak in, Jeff Ida, Juke Katana, Rick Hulga, feel like surprises. It's messy, it's weird, it's the most deviant episode in ANW history. But somehow, the intensity still lands. That's why it lands here. Now we're getting into the good stuff, the final qualifier. And this is where the season finally clicks. Almost every single run in this episode tops the leaderboard. The competition gets fierce. People are fighting for the last spots, and we get little segments where competitors actually talk about their lives, their training, why they were here. It finally feels like we know these people. David Campbell, who technically debuted in American Ninja Challenge the year before, puts up a monster run. His nephew Travis Furlanick follows right behind him, and the times? They start dropping below 40 seconds. A newcomer named William Spencer shocks everyone with a 33-second run, the fastest of the qualifiers. And then Levi Meyer-Woodenberg, already a legend, closes it out with a blazing time of his own. The top 30 is set. The cutoff is exactly 1 minute. This is the first time we see real, high-level Ninja Warrior in action. The second half of the semifinals. And if episode 3 was where the competition started, this is where it peaks. The top 15 are on the line, and every run matters. New top times are set, and other competitors get brutally knocked off the list. You can feel the group of top contenders starting to take shape. Times start dipping below 1 minute 30 across the board. And then William Spencer runs again. Despite everyone chasing him, despite the pressure, he takes the top spot with a time of 1 minute 23 seconds. Complete dominance. It's everything episode 3 set up. But now the stakes are even higher. Great stuff. The first Japan episode. This is where American Ninja Warrior meets Sasuke. The first 6 competitors. Stage 1. Mount Midoriyama. And the difference is immediate. The course is brutal. 8 obstacles. 120-second time limit. And this random group of athletes, some of whom would never even return to ANW again, have to prove they belong. The episode shows them sightseeing, taking in Japan, reflecting on how far they've come. You actually care about these people. The first 5 runners make progress, but they all fall short. Kane Sinclair gets the worst of it. He times out literally at the very end. Devastating. But then Rich King steps up, the final runner of the episode, and he becomes the first American to clear stage 1 in this tournament. It's electric. G4 was still at its peak here, and they captured the mystique of Sasuke perfectly. This episode is pure aura. And finally, the best episode of season 1, the season finale. 4 competitors remain. Stage 1. And it starts rough. Paul Darnell gets injured. Travis Forlanick, David Campbell's nephew, falls early and shocks everyone. But then Levi Miu Woudenberg runs, and it's like nothing we've seen before. He flies through the course with the fastest time of the entire tournament. He's doing parkour moves mid-run. It's style, it's speed, it's dominance. Brian Orozco matches him right after. Stage 1 ends with 3 men standing, 2 veterans and 1 rookie. Stage 2 hits at night, under the lights, the salmon ladder, the unstable bridge. These obstacles are on another level compared to anything in the American qualifiers. Rich King and Brian Orozco both fall on the bridge. Stage 2 looks impossible, but Levi pulls through again, fastest time again, and becomes ANW's first last man standing. Stage 3. The Sheen cliffhanger. The precursor to the ultimate cliffhanger we know today. And Levi slips, just like he did in American Ninja Challenge. Same obstacle, same result. The season ends there. No prize money, no trophy. Just the knowledge that total victory is still out of reach. That standard, getting close but not quite there, would define early American Ninja Warrior history. And it all started right here,